We can get started now. Awesome. Namaste, everyone. Welcome to Hindi University. Really excited to have all of you this Sunday. As you know, my name is Ashutosh, and we meet every Sunday, 8 a.m. US Pacific time, which is time on the west coast of the US to learn about the Hindi language. For those of you who are new to Hindi University, you can learn more about us by going to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Hindi University. You can also go to our website, which is hindiuniversity.org, and find out all the details about how you can get plugged in, start a new practice session, join the Sunday classes, attend any practice session. So we have, miscellaneous information structured pretty properly on the Hindi University website also. If you're joining for the very first time, I share a little bit of information for you. And just about in 2.5 weeks, we'll be enrolling. We are in the process of enrolling new students. So, beginning of new year 2026, if you ever wanted to learn Hindi language, or if any of your new friends, they want to learn the Hindi language, it's a great opportunity for you to get enrolled and get assimilated into the Hindi University community. We'll go over some of the preliminary information one more time just to make sure that you're situated into the right practice sessions and you have the information about the right books to get started, etc. Okay. So more on that soon, but I just thought I'll make a short announcement on that. Um, Once again, if you want to join the Sunday classes, it's pretty straightforward. You can use the Zoom link or the meeting ID, and that way you can, join the Sunday classes. And this is the link that we're using. And if in case if it doesn't work, you feel free to message me, and I'll make sure that we provide you the. I add you directly into the community, and that way at least you are aware of what's going on. This year we've been doing two books, Pingu Learns Hindi, which is the book by Hindi University, and the second one we have is the Primer of Modern Standard Hindi by Professor Michael Shapiro. Um, Last few classes we spent learning about different sets of obligations or commitment in Hindi, right? So last class we spoke about like external compulsion, and we only covered some parts of it, so we'll continue to finish that one in this class. Okay, so to give you a brief sort of overview of what we covered in the previous class, if you guys recall, we discussed something like this, where I showed you set of sentences, right? There were three columns you were all shown, and you read the sentences in each of the column, such as I should sleep early, I have to arrive at 9, and I had to submit the report early. Okay, they should drink more water, should, versus they have to show the ID as a policy, versus they had to change the medicine because of side effects or whatever, right? And we brainstormed what is the common difference in all of these sentences, right? And we got feedback from all of you, and generally everyone kind of agreed that in the first column, it's an advice to the person, like they should get up early, they should eat healthy. Whether they do it or not, that's a different thing, but like, we learned about it, right? And we discussed how to say that in Hindi. So you have the infinitive form of the verb followed by chahiye, right? So you spend time on that one. In the second column, it's like as a requirement slash obligation, which, it's by the rule, like you have to arrive at 9, right? You have to show the the ID, right, when you board the plane. Um, and then we learned about like how you have to use the hona, right, in the right form, like jana hai or jana hoga, right? Um, khelna hai versus khelna hoga versus khelna tha. And in the last one, we discussed that it's an external compulsion which is not in the control of the user, right? Such as like I had to submit the report early because maybe the deadline changed, or I had to change the medicines because the first ones were not working. They were giving me side effects. Okay. Or, or such as like I had to ended up selling something because of something, was not in my control. And while in some languages the lines are blurry, in these categories. Hindi is a little bit explicit when it comes to the external compulsion, right? And that's where we kind of started learning about use of Padna. So in English, depending on the context, how the person is saying it, that's when you will learn whether it's a suggestion versus it's a rule versus an obligation. You can still say it separately, distinctly, but the context kind of gives you the clarification on that. Versus some of the other world languages like in Spanish, French, Japanese, it's even more clear, right? I mean, how you say it, it will make it very clear whether you have no choice, but it's an external compulsion. So we spend some time there as well. Then we jump to the pattern. How do you say things which are not in your control, but you have to do it, or in so we learned about use of padna, right? So you have the infinitive form of the verb. When you're using it with padna, such as like you have a jana, which is to go, followed by pada, and you can use it in the right tense. Like in the past, basically, the verb is padna, but in the past you have pada, jana pada, right? Mujhe Paris jana pada. It was not in my control. Maybe there was a conference, and they scheduled it, and my boss couldn't make it, and he told me that you have to go. So mujhe Paris jana pada. All of a sudden, that there was an obligation that kind of it being conveyed. In the previous class, we spoke about the past tense of it, right? In this class, we'll talk about future aspect of it. That's an obligation that you will have to do it versus obligation that you generally have to do. So we will do both of that scenario. So going back to it, um, the way the pattern works, it's the person who is basically undergoing this obligation. It will be followed by ko, the post position. So like you have a को John को office जाना पड़ा. Like John had to go to the office. Alternatively, the way you would interpret it is John was forced to do something which was beyond his control. Right? So some of the examples is like Sarah को जाना पड़ा, John को report लिखनी पड़ी. Okay? John was forced to write the report. और उनको रात भर रुकना पड़ा. They had to stay overnight with no choice. Okay, so before I jump into we'll simplify it more, but before I jump into it, any high level questions so far, anyone? Feel free to unmute yourself, and if you don't know or if you missed some of the previous sections, and you want to still have a little bit of a, if not, we'll jump into the.
Okay, I have a question, Ashutosh.
Yes,
The
yes.
the form of it that you put hey on the end of, that is the something you do on a regular basis.
Yes, yes. But the tense will
Um,
change also accordingly, or the verb will
okay,
change
so
accordingly. Like
is
this one.
it's conjugated kind of the same, but with the hona on the end.
So we'll cover that. So basically,
Okay, okay.
let's say you have to go to the office every day, but that's not in your control. That's basically so Josh followed by ko, her rose.
Mm-hmm.
Rose is daily. Josh ko rose, office, जाना पड़ता है. The previous one, Josh को Paris जाना पड़ा. It was a one-time thing. Versus Josh को रोज ऑफिस जाना पड़ता है. Or Josh को रोज, this one, if it is Doesn't make sense. जॉश को रोज जल्दी उठना पड़ता है. जल्दी उठना, Josh. Can you guess what it is?
Have to wake up early.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, to wake
thank
up,
you.
right?
Utna. I
To
know
wake
utna is
up,
to rise, but yeah.
yes, right? So jaldi is early, and utna, as you guys
Okay.
pointed out, to wake up, right? So this is sort of not in your control because let's say you are part of some training and the coach has told you that you have to be here by 5 a.m. every day, right? So even before you go to office, you have to just finish your training, which whatever you're preparing for. So that's why like Josh को रोज जल्दी उठना पड़ता है. Is it
Okay.
okay or still
Okay.
tricky?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, at some point, it's something that you do once or twice will can become repetitive thing. So it's like at some point, it's gonna like maybe I go to maybe I drive a certain way home one
Mm-hmm.
time, but then
Mm-hmm.
it becomes my regular path home. At
Mm-hmm.
some point, it's gonna switch to something I do all the time
Yes. So
versus something I
like
do once.
so think about a scenario like that you want, and then we'll discuss about how to say that in Hindi. Like so this is like let's say grocery shopping, okay? Or whatever you're thinking in your head, like explain it so I can kind of tell you how to say that in a simpler way.
Yeah, I didn't have
Yeah.
a exact example, so I don't want to butcher
Okay.
yours.
It's okay. So take no worries. Take your time later on, and then if it comes up, we can dissect that further. Yeah.
Okay.
For
Yeah.
us girls, for example, I
Mhm.
मुझे रोज जल्दी उठना पड़ती है.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for you, no, for you also it will be jaldi उठना पड़ता है.
पड़ता है. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. So it'll be same. You will not say पड़ती है. It's for like पड़ता है. And now the question is why पड़ता है? Okay.
Yes.
Who would like to answer that? Why it's पड़ता and not पड़ती?
Oh,
That was
because
just
Hmm?
because of coal.
Yes, because of co.
that was just going to be my next question, though. With all 3 degrees of compulsion, always take co, right?
That's right. That's right. All of them, they will take co. Why do you think that is?
Oh, that's a
Why do you
trickier
think? Because
question.
it's a trickier question because in English, it's always I should, you know, I should sleep on time. It's you are using I, okay? Versus have to I have to sleep early. It's still I. Versus I will have to sleep early or I must sleep early. Okay? So in all of these cases, you have the pronoun as it is. Versus in Hindi, you have this followed by ko.
Because it's something that's happening to the person rather than something that the person is individually doing.
That's right. That's right. It's something that is happening to the person versus they are doing it. Right? So one is it's an active verb that you're doing, and another one is an experience that is happening to you, that your body is receiving. And all kind of obligation in Hindi are considered that they're happening to you, that you're obligated to do this thing. So that's why as you're switching it from your English to Hindi, you have to think about like, this is an obligation. So as I'm speaking it, and whoever is obligated to do, they will be followed by ko. Whether it's JD ko office jana chahiye or JD ko, healthy khana chahiye, right? All of those, are basically experiences. There are something happening to the user, right? Very good question, right? It kind of brings us back to sort of like, some of the basic, to question the concepts again. So, Vlad?
Yes, yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. So I was thinking, isn't when it's a habitual action, isn't should be hota hai? Like Josh ko rosh jaldi utna padta hota hai.
जॉश को रोज जल्दी उठना होता है. Okay. So going back to it, a very good one, right? I mean, so if I were to share it, there were multiple degrees of obligation, if you will, right? Some are just suggestion, like Josh को जल्दी उठना चाहिए, right? Versus it's by the rule where you use होना. मुझे स्कूल जाना है, ओके मुझे 8 बजे स्कूल जाना है और मुझे 8 बजे स्कूल जाना होता है, ओके दैट्स व्हाट यू आर रेफरिंग टू. You for school you would use it because it's होना, because it's your sort of like a general thing, versus मुझे market जाना पड़ेगा. You were not really meaning to go to the market. It was sort of, maybe some external compulsion. You will have to go, right? So in your example that you used, you were talking about the second category here, a blood, right? Such as like, यहाँ पे हमारी सिटी में सबको हेलमेट पहननी होती है, by law or by rule. Yeah.
So hota,
Versus, huh?
yeah, like hota, it means like it repeats or it happens, right? So it doesn't mean like habitual action, hota. When you add hota.
So, okay, so I'll break it down for you. Okay, so you have the three things basically. You are right about that. It's a habitual thing. So you have the infinitive form of the verb, infinitive form, and we spent it over the multiple classes. So bear with me. So we first learned about using chahna with it, and we spoke about like what it means. Then we spoke about using hona with it in different forms. Then we are using padna with it. Okay.
Can you switch the screen, Ashuji?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So you have infinitive form of the word, and you're using different kind of obligations first. Like, so let's say you have uthna, to wake up. Okay, to wake up. Let's say I used a thing called jaldi, to early. Okay, so if I say jaldi uthna chahiye, it should. Okay, if I put a user also with that and I say Josh followed by ko, because it's sort of an obligation, Josh ko, or suggestion, jaldi uthna chahiye. Josh should wake up early. Josh को जल्दी उठना चाहिए. Versus Josh को जल्दी उठना है. Josh has to wake up early. He has to wake up early. Okay. You can say that habitually Josh को जल्दी उठना होता है. The previous one, Josh को जल्दी उठना है, it's a one-time thing. Versus habitually he has to wake up on time. Not as a one-time activity, but as a habit. Josh को जल्दी उठना होता है. In the previous class and in this class, we are back to this one. You still have a subject, Josh, or मैं or आप, followed by को, जल्दी उठना. Then we are talking about using it in different forms. You can use it in the past, which is what we did in the previous class, पढ़ा. Now we will do future. which is padega, or versus padta hai, which is like the habitual form of it. Josh को जल्दी उठना पड़ता है. It's not in his control, it's by the compulsion. Right? So I think the confusion probably you are having, Vlad, is what is the difference between the second category, which is basically Josh को जल्दी उठना होता है versus Josh को जल्दी उठना पड़ता है.
Yes. I mean, can we
Right?
say like Josh ko jaldi uthna padta hota hai? Is it
No, you
possible?
will
No?
no, that's not possible. It's like, can I try my best to make it harder? No, that's not possible. You will not mix two, three categories, right? So either you can say George को जल्दी उठना होता है versus पड़ता है.
Okay, so
Yeah,
padta, it has like habitual meaning.
that's right.
Padta. Okay,
Because
cool.
you already have the verb जल्दी उठना.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
These are magical things. The moment you put होना, पढ़ना, or चाहना with it, it already brings the compulsion to it. How you conjugate it will decide whether it is a habitual versus future obligation versus past obligation. If
Yeah.
something I had to do in the past, I will change it to pada. Something that I will have to do in the future, I will do padega, right?
Mm-hmm.
Versus padta, that I generally have to do as an obligation.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah? Yeah, of course. Yes, Sharonji? Yeah, Sharonji, go ahead.
Did you just make a distinction between Josh ko jaldi utna hai and
Hmm?
Josh ko jaldi utna hota hai?
Yes. So yes. So Josh को जल्दी उठना है versus होता है. It's the first one is it's a one-time thing versus second one is an habitual aspect.
Hota hai is the habitual one?
That's right. होता है.
Okay.
मुझे हर Sunday gym. Okay, how do I say it? I think let's stick with the same example before I go to the next one. Yeah. So this होता है is the habitual aspect of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wonderful. Right. So we'll try to break it down more, but in between, anything comes up, you let me know. But what I'll do is, so in the previous class we spoke about the past obligation. Now we'll talk about future obligations, future obligation basically, and I'll try to break it down and go over multiple examples, and then I'll ask you guys. Right. So let's say, um, what is to wait in Hindi?
इंतजार
रुक
करना.
इंतजार करना.
Very good, right? So you have intezar karna. So let's say you go to the a train station or an airport to receive your friend, but you come to know that it's delayed. It's not in your control, right? Um, Now you must or you will have to wait for 2 hours. Okay? You are saying it to yourself, I will have to wait for 2 hours. Okay, I'm gonna have you all think about it. How will you say that in Hindi? Don't say it. Just write it down on the Zoom chat or think about it in your mind. I will have to wait. Meetaji, how are you doing?
Fine, thank you, but
You have the.
Ask
It's
me.
okay. You have the you have the verb already, right?
Okay.
इंतजार करना.
Okay.
You have to, when you read this sentence, I will have to wait. Does it click to you that it's an obligation that you you don't have any control over, first of all,
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
right? Yeah. You already know in order to convert this thing into an obligation, what do you have to do?
You have to put either chana, hona, or parna at the end. So we're
Yes. So
parna, so we have to do the
very
sequence.
good.
Yeah.
Very good. So all you have to do is put padna next to intezar karna, right?
Mhm.
This gives you the clue that not in English, but for your friend for which you went to the airport to receive them,
Yep.
you will have to do basically, right? So the future aspect of it would be
Padega.
very good, right? So future form of padna would be padega, padegi, or padenge. But right now you're saying it's going to be masculine singular.
Yeah.
So just say it a few times. Intezar.
Intezar karna padega.
Beautiful. इंतजार करना पड़ेगा.
Mhm.
Who will have to wait?
Me. So it's mujhe.
Very good, right? So you already have मैं, which is I, followed by ko, because it's an you are obligated to do it. Not you are doing it, but you will have to wait, right? So what is the total thing? मुझे
Yep. So mujhe 2 घंटे इंतजार करना पड़ेगा.
beautiful. मुझे 2 घंटे इंतजार करना पड़ेगा.
Okay, so the karna doesn't change at all. That's what I wasn't sure about. That stays just
Be-
like that. Okay.
Because this is still the infinitive form of the verb.
Yeah.
It's just jaldi uthna. Uthna is not changing. It stays the same.
Okay.
Infinitive form, right? Ending with na.
Ashuji, since she's a female, shouldn't she say karna padegi?
Yeah. Why do you think it's padega and not padegi?
Because
Block.
Because what?
It's
it's
blocked
Because of
by
intezar.
the code. She is
Yeah.
blocked by
Still
the
because
code.
of co.
yes.
Because of ko. Because of ko. Because of this ko is blocking it. So regardless of whether I'm saying it, Sheila ji is saying it, Sharon ji is saying it, or Meeta ji is saying it will be मुझे इंतजार करना पड़ेगा. Right? It's the object that will decide, right? And we'll discuss the other objects also where it is padegi. Let's say your obligation is to, I'll come to it. I want to first finish the example of padega, and right after that we'll do padegi. Yes, Sharon ji.
Okay, I apologize for slowing down this class,
No, no, no.
but
This is good. This is good.
I see why it's Padega. I understand the concept here. What I'm having a little bit of trouble with is the distinction between if I had said Hoga here instead of Padega.
Okay, so how will you say it?
If I said Mujhe intezar karna hoga,
Yes.
how what is the nuance? How does the meaning change if I went back to that medium level of
It's
compulsion?
it it's not necessarily by an external compulsion. It's by the rule. मुझे इंतजार करना होगा,
It's by the
right?
rule. Did you
It's
say
by the
rule?
rule.
Okay, okay, yeah.
It's like a policy that अब मुझे इंतजार करना होगा. It's not like an external compulsion that the train got delayed or something like that,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So it's a requirement that now you have to wait.
Okay, I get it. And I don't know.
Yeah,
It's not sticking though for some reason, but thank you.
it'll come. It'll come. Because in English you are saying the same thing.
Yeah, that's
In
what it is.
Hindi, yeah,
Yeah.
and in only the context is telling the listener whether it is beyond your control, whether versus like it's by the rule versus it's by the that you should do it as a as a good practice.
Yes. Great.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah.
I have a question, Asuji.
Mhm.
Um, why we're using intizar karna here? Why is it not, what is it, ki intizar karna or ka intizar karna?
So, you know, you want to put something in between. मुझे something का like somebody can ask you आपको किसका इंतजार करना पड़ेगा, right? So, you know,
Yeah,
you
if you're using intizar karna normally in a sentence, is it ka or ki? I don't remember if it's masculine or
का
feminine. Ka.
का इंतजार करना, right? So you
Yeah.
can say मुझे, you can say that मुझे simply would be मुझे आपका इंतजार करना पड़ेगा और मुझे अपने दोस्त का इंतजार करना पड़ेगा, right? So I just went with a simple sentence where you only have sort of one, you know, postposition attached to this thing. But, you know, you can definitely, as, you know, JDG pointed out, typically it's always का इंतजार करना. Like, just like की मदद करना, it's का इंतजार करना,
Yeah, well,
right?
I'm
So,
asking
and
because if you use the ka there, then the dogante would have to go oblique.
मुझे, मुझे,
Mujhe
you,
doganton intizar karna padega. Is
मुझे
that wrong?
अपने दोस्त, no, it's, you will not obligate. मुझे अपने दोस्त का 2 घंटे इंतजार करना पड़ेगा. मुझे अपने दोस्त का 2 घंटे इंतजार करना पड़ेगा, right? So I'm not putting like, um, you know, uh, the yeah, the natural flow would be मुझे अपने दोस्त का 2 घंटे इंतजार करना पड़ेगा, not घंटों.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sharon ji, Sheila ji.
One of the things I always do with Storyweaver is tell people to read the sentence backwards, and I think it helps here. So if you're reading Intizar Karna and working back up Nedos Ka Intizar Karna, the Ka is a possessive, whereas so it's the waiting for the friend, it's the waiting of the friend that is the subject of the sentence. If you don't have the Apnedos Ka, you're just a generic waiting. You're not saying what you're waiting for in English.
But if you have the 2 hours, that's
No,
what you're
the 2
looking
hours
for.
isn't the subject of the sentence. The grammar. It's important here to distinguish between the English subject and the Hindi subject. So in English, the subject of the sentence is I, and the object of the sentence is whatever you're waiting for, is an indirect object. In Hindi, the subject of the sentence in English, I, is put into the oblique, so it's indirect, so it's not the subject of the sentence. And so the subject of the sentence is the waiting for the friend, grammatically. And that's why parega is always parega, because intizar karna is masculine.
That's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got confused. I got confused when you put the apne dos ka in there. I don't understand. If you just use the dogante, wouldn't it be dogante ka intizar kana?
You're not waiting for 2 hours, right? You're not like, you're waiting for your friend. That's why it's like dost ka intezar.
Okay.
Yeah. If it is still,
What possesses the waiting? What is the
yeah.
owner of the waiting? The owner of the waiting is
hours.
the friend.
2
No,
hours.
the friend, JD. It's a friend.
I'm not using friend in the sentence. I'm using it without the word friend in there. I'm using it.
My point is understand it with the friend and then understand it without the friend. Because if you take the friend out, you're not saying who you're waiting for. You're just saying how long, which is not the subject of the sentence.
If it is not a friend, you will simply say मुझे 2 घंटे इंतजार करना पड़ेगा.
You're just saying something about a generic waiting.
That's right. That's right. If it is still tricky, JDG, why don't we write down? I'll have this homework for you, right?
Okay.
We'll start from the basic. Yeah.
If the way it is right now, then this is not the object. There's no object here.
Yeah, yeah,
Mujhe
yep,
do
yep.
gante intezar karna padega. That there's 2 hours is not an object.
No, it's an adverbial phrase of time if you want the grammar.
Okay, that's what confused me. I was looking 2 hours as an object, and I thought it had the ka. Okay, thank you. Sorry, I
No,
think
no, no, no worries. So,
I have just a basic question. So when you say dogante, you just assuming that is the duration. You don't have
that's
to
right.
have, because a bunch of people put in the chat, and I was thinking as well, you would need like a 4, right? But you don't. You just need you don't need 2 hours. Like mujhe dogante ke liye इंतजार करना पड़ेगा.
You can just simply say मुझे 2 घंटे इंतजार करना पड़ेगा,
Thanks.
and that would do. Yeah. So you'll not additionally put के लिए basically 2 घंटे के लिए. Yeah. So let's discuss it more. So um and I think I'm going to give one more example of the masculine singular only, right? So the question is, let's say you have to say something like they will have to explain something like we are using. They will have to explain. What is to explain?
Samachana.
Very good. Samjhana. Right? So you have a samjhana. Okay. Michael G from Pennsylvania. How will you change it? Samjhana followed by
Padega.
very good. Padega. So the form of Padna would be here, Padega. So
So
that together it, yeah.
mujhe samjhana padega.
मुझे
Oh no,
समझाना
sorry.
पड़ेगा.
Unhe samjhana padega.
Very good. So उन्हें समझाना पड़ेगा. Hopefully this should be easier for everyone, right? You can tell that they is way in Hindi and followed by ko. So either it's unhe or unko, right? Samjhana, it remains in the infinitive form, right? To make people understand, samjhana, or to explain, followed by, because it's an obligation. So you have to use padna. In which form? Because it's something that they will have to do it in the future. Padega. Samjhana is masculine singular, that's why it's padega. So regardless of whether Michael G is saying it or Catherine G is saying it or Fiona G is saying it's padega. Yeah, samjhana padega. Okay, wonderful. We'll do one more. I will have to wait. Okay, I will have to wait. Maya ji, to wait in Hindi is?
मुझे इंतजार करना पड़ेगा.
Okay, very good. Another verb you can use to wait is rukna.
रुकना.
Yeah, so that would be मुझे
मुझे रुकना पड़ेगा.
there you go. मुझे रुकना पड़ेगा. तो मुझे रुकना पड़ेगा. Okay, awesome. I will have to call. Okay, let's speed it up. Fiona ji, I will have to call. And for simplicity, to call, we will just say phone karna.
मुझे फोन करना पड़ेगा.
There you go. मुझे phone करना पड़ेगा. Right? I'll have to make a phone call. Okay, wonderful. Now we'll change it to the object we are talking so far is masculine singular, such as samjhana, phone karna, rukna. Now let's change it to feminine singular, such as to write a report. Okay, to write a report is report lik. Just the thing itself is report. To write is likhna. Okay, and now you're talking about a report. So it becomes report likhni. Okay, so now the thing is, you have to say, I will have to write the report. Vlad,
तो मुझे रिपोर्ट लिखना पड़ेगा.
so report is feminine singular.
अच्छा, लिखना पड़ेगी.
Likhni. So
लिखनी.
that, yes, likhni. So that also same. Likhni padegi. Right? So
Okay.
mujhe, say it again.
मुझे रिपोर्ट लिखनी पड़ेगी.
Very good. Okay. Next one, something similar. I will have to take the medicine. I will have to take the medicine. Christine ji.
मुझे दवाई लेनी पड़ेगी.
Very good. Right. To take is lena or leni. So मुझे दवा लेनी पड़ेगी. मुझे दवा और दवाई, same thing. मुझे दवा लेनी पड़ेगी. Okay. Uh, I will have to get approval. We have not done it before, so this can be slightly harder about what is the verb for to take approval. मुझे,
स्वीकृत.
huh?
स्वीकृत.
स्वीकृति लेना. Okay, you can say that. It's a very formal Hindi.
हाँ.
Okay, you can say this. It's absolutely correct. I will have to get approval.
ओके. मुझे स्वीकृत करनी पड़ेगी. मुझे
Okay. स्वीकृत
स्वीकृत.
स्वीकृति लेनी पड़ेगी. Either you can say that or you can
ओके.
say मुझे मंजूरी
लेना. ओके. मुझे मंजूरी लेनी पड़ेगी.
That's right. That's right. So manzuri is more sort of like coming from Urdu. Swikriti is more Sanskrit, right? Both are correct. You can use either of them. Right? मुझे मंजूरी लेनी पड़ेगी.
Ashutji,
Okay.
how about anumodan?
Yes, you can say that as well. You can say that as well. Those are all slightly harder of his way of saying it. So you can absolutely say that. How about I will have to catch the train because you missed the plane, right? Josh, to take the train. So simply, right? To take, we did that already.
Okay. मुझे train लेना train is train feminine or masculine? We're doing feminine.
Feminine.
मुझे train लेनी पड़ेगी.
Beautiful. मुझे train लेनी पड़ेगी. See, better when we don't write it because then you're
No, I
actively
don't know.
thinking. Then you putting the pressure on you. मुझे train लेनी पड़ेगी, right? It's almost like मुझे respond, मुझे जवाब देना पड़ेगा और मुझे reply करना पड़ेगा, right? Like you are no choice but to respond, right? Okay. I will have to do shopping. Catherine ji, you want to give it a try? I know you're joining probably for the first time.
Yes, I'm joining for the first time.
Okay.
I have to go shopping.
Yeah.
Ne मुझको
Mhm.
दुकान जानुकी पड़ेगी.
Okay.
दुकान पड़ेगी.
So the sentence is like मुझे जाना. If you want to say मुझे जाना पड़ेगा, that's absolutely correct, right? To shop is खरीदारी करना.
खरीदारी.
And
I thought
खरीदारी.
that was to buy.
Yes. So that's yeah. So to खरीदना you can say. I'm going to make it simple for you. खरीदना. So it would be I mean, I'm not gonna make it खरीदारी करना. I'll keep it simple. So it will be uh to 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 buy actually. I will have to buy. So to buy is खरीदना,
Haridna.
or to do the shopping, which is now I'm thinking that's what I kind of did it for you, which is I made it harder. To do the shopping is खरीदारी करना. That's what we did.
Karidari Kana.
खरीदारी करना, yeah. So if you have to do this one along with future of Padna, it would be
Haridani Kana Padega.
beautiful. And because it's feminine, it would be
Padegi.
very good. मुझे खरीदारी करनी पड़ेगी.
Kani Padegi.
Yeah, yeah. You did the harder one, but yeah, that's what, But you're absolutely right. To buy is खरीदना. To do the shopping is the खरीदारी करना. Yeah.
Thank
Ashutosh,
you. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I will have to do shopping. Is that still the same type of compulsion as Hona and Chana? Because this seems like something you say in an afternoon when you forgot something, and that's a little bit different than that you have to go to the office every day.
Yeah, so in this one is, let's say the compulsion would be, let's say you landed to a new city and they lost your bag.
Yeah, that I understand. But if you
Yeah.
say I will have to do some shopping to your wife just because you forgot one thing,
Yes.
that's a different type of compulsion.
That's right. So that's right. So because it's like the situation is decided first, we are just using that pattern, but you're absolutely
Okay,
right.
so if
Right?
I have the sentence I will have to do shopping, then I can either use paregi or one of the other two.
That's right.
Okay,
Right.
okay, thank
मुझे
you.
yeah, you can absolutely say मुझे shopping खरीदारी करनी है, right? And that would be completely fine. Okay. Now we'll change it to plural objects, right? Plural objects. So right now we had like masculine singular and feminine singular. What if you have like, I will have to fill the forms. Fill the forms. Masculine singular. Christine ji, I will have to fill the forms.
I'm sorry, I forgot the verb to fill a form.
So
I know I mentioned it before.
it's okay. So form, it's just taken as it is in Hindi also. So it will be something written like form. And the word for that uses bharna, to fill.
Okay. So मुझे forms भरने पड़ेगी पड़ेगे.
Padenge, right? So it's basically bharna changes to ne and you have padenge. मुझे forms भरने पड़ेंगे with a nasalized sound. पड़ेंगे. Right? मुझे forms भरने पड़ेंगे. I will have to fill the forms. Questions. Why पड़ेंगे? When, Vlad is saying it versus I'm saying it versus Catherine is saying it. Why पढ़ेंगे?
Because the objects are in plural.
Yes, because the objects are in plural, right? Right. So forms, you're not talking about filling one form or writing, or filling something singular, right? मुझे forms भरने पड़ेंगे. I will have to write the books. How will you do that? Eva ji, you want to give it a try? I know you're also relatively new. Yeah.
मुझे किताबें लिखने पड़ेंगे.
Very good. मुझे किताबें लिखनी
पड़ेंगी.
पढ़ेंगी. Beautiful, right? So it's a slight nuance there, like, it's because it's feminine plural, it's पढ़ेंगी
Because
versus
of
this
the
one.
book.
That's right. That's right.
Because books are feminine and
That's right.
in plural.
That's right. Because books are feminine and plural. मुझे किताबें लिखनी पड़ेंगी. मुझे forms भरने पड़ेंगे.
Ashuji, a quick question.
Uh-huh.
Should the likhni be nasalized like likhni?
That's right. That's right. मुझे किताबें लिखनी पड़ेंगी. Let's do one more. And then I will have to change the tickets. Let's say you booked a ticket for the group and you have like, I will have to change the tickets. Not one ticket, multiple tickets. And ticket is kind of tricky. You can use it both in a masculine as well as feminine way. So I'm okay either ways. How would you do it? Someone who has not had a chance. Let's see. Angela ji, you want to give it a try?
Yes. मुझे tickets बदलने पड़ेंगे.
Beautiful. मुझे tickets is
Oh,
tickets, right?
yeah. Or मुझे tickets बदलनी पड़ेंगी.
Either way is fine, right?
Yes.
So मुझे, and in Hindi ticket is ticket, but when you're writing it, sometimes it's like ladka, ladke, the
Mm-hmm.
ticket becomes ticketing.
Oh.
So it's funny how in the newspaper they will write a ticketing, a sound will be there, ticketing.
Ticketing.
Right? So, yeah. So मुझे टिकटें और बदलनी पड़ेंगी.
Okay.
ये टिकटें plural. Any questions so far? I know we took a lot of time, but any question so far on the future obligations? To kind of summarize, we had a lot of questions answered before, but to summarize it, we did all the examples. We did the future obligation where object is masculine singular. Yeah, right. Such as like मुझे जाना पड़ेगा, मुझे आना पड़ेगा, मुझे इंतजार करना पड़ेगा, मुझे फोन करना पड़ेगा, मुझे बैठना पड़ेगा, मुझे रुकना पड़ेगा, मुझे समझाना पड़ेगा. All of them are using padega because the object is considered masculine singular. So regardless of I'm saying it or Christine ji saying it, it's all padega. Then we shifted to feminine singular, where object is feminine singular. And we did examples like मुझे रिपोर्ट लिखनी पड़ेगी, मुझे दवा लेनी पड़ेगी, मुझे मंजूरी लेनी पड़ेगी, मुझे खरीदारी करनी पड़ेगी, मुझे सफाई करनी पड़ेगी, मुझे ट्रेन पकड़नी पड़ेगी और ट्रेन लेनी पड़ेगी. All of them, the object that you have is considered feminine singular. That's why the infinitive form of the verb is also ending with ni, leni, karni, or such like that. And then ending is padegi. Then we shifted to the masculine and feminine plural, right? And then we discussed form bharne padenge. Okay. सामान उठाना. Okay, so सामान उठाने पड़ेंगे. Similarly, किताबें लिखनी पड़ेंगी और टिकटें लेनी पड़ेंगी, right? और emails लिखनी पड़ेंगी, right? So all of those, if you notice it, the objects is either feminine plural or masculine plural, right? So just to kind of summarize the whole thing, it's an obligation that you're trying to convey, where you have external forces that you have to do it because other things have happened on which you have lesser control over. And whenever you have to do that, you take the infinitive form of the word and you put different kind of whether it is chahna versus hona versus padna. How you decide that? It's really like whether you have control over it or not, right? And one more thing, obligations are not something that you are doing, is happening to you, almost like a sticker that is attached to you, right? And that's why its subject is followed by ko all the time, right? So that's a quick summary of the last uh, 30 35 minutes. Okay. I'm not gonna rush the habitual one, but I'm gonna write down all the examples that I have on Discord chat, as well as in WhatsApp, so you can go over it, and that way at least you can independently review it as well. Right? Yeah, there's one question from AYG.
Yes, a question. What I wanted to ask was forgotten, but just to make it simplify, the conjugation always go with the subject.
The conjugation always goes with the subject. So which one? Like it goes with
Anytime.
like.
So when I have a subject,
Uh-huh.
doesn't matter what is it, I have to conjugate my my verb
So
depending on the subject. Yes?
so when you have, I will have to write a book.
Yes.
So book in this case is your feminine,
Yes,
you
and
so yeah, so it'll go with the book. So it's basically kitab likhni padegi, right? To who you will say mujhe kitab likhni padegi. So it's really like the book is determining how you're conjugating it.
yes, that's what I wanted to say, that the conjugation always go after the subject or connected with the subject, or I don't know how to say it in English, sorry, because I'm
It's
not
okay. It's okay. It's okay. So what you're saying, regardless of, you are saying the same. Are you have any questions on this one, or you looking for some other examples where you can test it out?
No, it was just make it simpler, or not to always have to go through all the conjugation form, but just to make it simpler, that this goes with that, and always we can use this simple form for this conjugation thing.
That's
Sorry,
right.
I
No,
hope I can explain.
No. Yeah,
Okay.
I know what you're saying. Let me show it to you. Like, so the way, and maybe it's really like about going back to it. It's person followed by ko, followed by the infinitive form and padna, right? So X or whoever it is or was or will be forced to do the verb, right? So what is that doing? Report likhni, right? So it's really like, report is feminine, that's determining that, right? So I think if it is harder for you, in case, it's really like going back to what is that force that's kind of like, making you do the thing. So anything that is coming after to the verb, basically, that is determining it.
Okay.
I think what she's trying to say is that if you were going to translate it literally, the Sarah Co would not actually be the subject of the sentence. Like if you were going to like literally translate it.
Yes, that is correct. That is right. Yeah.
It kind of depends on which word you're calling the subject.
Yeah. Right. I'm going to stop the broadcast. I know a lot of new folks are there, so I want to take the quick introduction, from everyone, especially for the new folks as well. So, for folks who watch live on Facebook, thank you so much. Stay tuned. Again, if you ever wondered how you can join the classes live as well, there'll be an opportunity again, where you can join as a group, right? So in the beginning of January, we'll provide more details soon on that.